Hey YouTube, how's it going? Last week I completed my 10th week. I know it's been a while. I said that I would do every 2 weeks, but things just got way too busy with working full time, as I think I've mentioned before, and taking on two different preps, which I like, obviously. That's going to be reality. No one else I know has two preps, so it's kind of a downfall because that means I have twice the work to do, which isn't really fair to me compared to other people, but I think it's going to make me more well-rounded in general, like when I actually do get my first teaching job. But I think last time I talked mostly about planning and preparation, which especially with two preps you really have to do, because then I teach all morning and then I teach all afternoon. I get about a 2.5 hour prep during the middle of the day because my cooperating teacher teaches a CITS, which is College in the Schools class, which I can't teach. You have to have a master's in order to teach that. So as a student teacher, I can't do that, which is fine. So that gives me 2.5 hours in the afternoon to prep for my American history at least. Prepping for psych has been somewhat tough because I was history concentration. Literally with psych, I'm probably a couple of days ahead of the students, which, as long as they don't know, that's fine. Which sometimes I feel like they might know. But other than that, it's been going really well. Can't wait to be a teacher. Still want to do it. Sometimes it is hard to find the motivation though as you're student teaching, because you're not getting paid for it. And like me, I had to take on a full-time job almost in order to survive in the first place, just so I could student teach, and that's been kind of taking a toll on me. I come home, I prep, and then I go do my overnights. Sometimes I do a PM shift. So I feel like I'm spreading myself too thin maybe, and there's really not a lot of time for me. But only 6 weeks left, so at least I can see the end of it, and I'm getting very excited to be licensed. Not sure what I'm going to do right away, but it's been a good experience overall. The only thing I can say is sometimes it's hard to find that motivation to do my planning. I get home and I'm so exhausted sometimes, especially if I have to work an overnight and then go teach all day. I literally sit down and I don't know what to do with myself. And I'm just, sometimes I'm just sick of being at my desk down in my room, and it's really taken a toll. But like I said, 6 weeks, I can see the end of it, and in the end, it will all have been worth it. Working full time, and I think it'll make me stronger as a teacher when I actually do get a teaching job, and I can focus on just the teaching. Because sometimes I feel like my lessons are lacking a little bit, but I do the best I can. And when they go really well, like I'm like super excited. Like it literally makes my day. But when they go bad, sometimes it kind of breaks my day, especially if I think I planned it pretty well, and then the students are like, what? So if you're watching this, if you're going to be a student teacher, or you aspire to be a teacher, just make sure you plan. You plan accordingly and you plan thoroughly, and always have a backup. I've been lucky enough where my lessons kind of go too long sometimes, so they kind of fall into the next day, which is fine because most of my lessons connect anyways, and that's another thing. Make sure your lessons connect from day to day. Like it shouldn't just be random things every day. Like everything should flow into one another. And especially, flow into those essential questions, which I think I talked about before, of the entire unit, okay? And so I overplan a little bit, not intentionally. I don't plan enough time for the student work aspect when I have them maybe in groups, or doing group work where they're trying to figure stuff out first, and then we come together and talk about it as a class. That's my favorite thing to do, and that's actually the way people learn better, is when they can build atop their own ideas first, and then bounce ideas off of each other and come back together. So yeah, my lessons tend to go a little bit long, and into the next day, and then so I'll have to cut something short for the next day. But it makes planning for the next day a little bit easier, to be honest. But yeah, 6 weeks left. I'm ecstatic to be done and be licensed and hopefully find a job right away. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, that's about all I have to say. I mean, I'm not really going to go into my lessons and details. Just trying to share my experience. So until next time, catch you later.